Welcome, and thank you very, very much for the opportunity to deliver. There's lots going on at 11 o'clock today, and I thank you very much that you are actually here. In terms of my journey here, it wasn't from Dubai to Solihull. I've actually come from South Croydon to Solihull, which is a slightly different journey, but thank you anyway for being here. I'd like to consider myself the fluffer for Ollie Patrick, if you like, because obviously the legend is following me in a minute, and I've actually got permission to use it on my LinkedIn page. So my LinkedIn page will actually change later on today to say Ollie Patrick's fluffer. Is that okay? Have I stepped over the line already? I've sort of gone too far there, haven't I? Like, yeah, never get a mention again. In terms of my aims for today, where are we going? I'd like to explore approaches to lead generation. I'm not a marketeer. I know nothing about business whatsoever. I am a trainer and proud to be a trainer, and I've always been a trainer for the 32 years I've been in the industry, and occasionally I'm fortunate enough to be a tutor as well. And this is all about how I've gone about generating leads from the gym floor. Is that okay? Yeah, that's where we're coming from. And in terms of my outcomes, so what are we going to do to achieve this really? I'm going to try and define what lead generation is, if that's okay, in my head. And then we're going to look at something called sign value. And I really do believe that when I'm working in a facility with loads of other great trainers, how do I demonstrate my uniqueness? How do I demonstrate my different? And this is a concept called sign value, and it's about social signalling, which is different from luxury. But I do believe it's important if we are going to generate leads and nurture individuals to come towards us as trainers. My next outcome, number 3, I'm going to look at other different approaches to lead generation, stuff that I've done in the past in order to attract and nurture people towards me, if you like. And then we're going to look at the factors that affect it. So if you choose one or two of these things, what's going to be individual to you as a trainer in terms of how you use these approaches to make sure that they are successful for you. And then finally, we're going to finish off and go back to the workbook, and you can set yourself an action plan. Is everyone happy with that? Yes, we got a pathway, yes or no? Yeah. A river without banks, just a puddle. We've got some direction in it. Yeah? Is that all right? Yeah? Cool. So this is me. Who am I? This is normally a question I ask myself at about 2:30 every morning. I'm in the fetal position, sweating in the corner, going, who am I? Who am I? I'm very proud to say that I am a trainer and a tutor in the industry, and I'm still trying to master those skills, to be fair. I don't think I'm going to move on until I've mastered those skills. I work with the general population. I would consider the general population to be individuals between 18 and 69 who can realistically visit a facility twice a week, and they want an experience. They want an experience that's unique to them. And that's what I would call the general population. I've been in the industry since 1993. We did exercise to music back then in church halls. I talked to vinyl. Tape came along. God, whoa, changed my life, tapes. Changed my life. And I've been in learning and development since 1995. So there's just a little bit about me. I'm not going to tell you much about my journey, but I do have 3 core beliefs that I think would put some context on this session, if that's okay. And these core beliefs, they come in any order, but I do believe these to be true, if that's okay. These are my beliefs. And the first one is, I think the environment that we create as personal trainers is key to success. And you could think about the environment in many different ways. You can think about the gym space and the whole of the gym space. That's an environment. But now gyms are being designed, and for the last 10, 15 years, they're all little places, aren't they? There's all little places. There's the cardio place, there's the pin-loaded place, there's the functional place, there's the stretch place, there's the recovery place. So those places within a space could also be seen as the environment. But for me, in terms of how I feel the member wants, the environment is the relationship that I create, or that little bubble that we are working in at that moment in time. And there's 2 things that contribute to that environment. There's the content of a session, the fact that I need to make sure that the exercise is safe and effective, and there's that fine balance of complexity and intensity that leads them to that place of flow state. Yeah? And then there's the context, how I go about delivering it, the language that I use, where I position myself. Yeah? And how I deliver the feedback, how I praise them, how I go about correcting them and not reduce their self-efficacy. So this is This is the environment that I try and create. My wife thinks I'm a bit of an arse when I put this one up. I think she prays that I would never put this one up. I do believe that after planning sessions that are safe and effective, my major role is to build the self-belief of the individual that's in front of me. Because if I build their self-belief, their confidence goes up, they're more likely to return. We know that adherence is the number one influencer on retention, so they're more likely to come back. And we know that consistency is better than intensity. So if I get them to come back, they're more likely to achieve their goals. So although my wife hates me saying this one, she's probably cringing right now because she knows this one's up. I do believe this is a major role of mine. And the final one, and all of these can come at any point, I do believe that feelings drive behaviour. And it's my job as a trainer, if I'm going to be successful, is to continually think about the positive feelings that I create within an individual. If I make someone feel ugly, awkward or uncomfortable with the words that I use or the exercises that I give them, they're not coming back. It's my job to make them feel beautiful, confident and competent. Yeah, according to who they are, what they want, their fitness level, their skill level. And I don't think there's a book been written in the last 10, 15 years that doesn't say this. Members buy into the feelings and they pay for the feelings in the sessions that they have with you. Yeah? Is that my mum? I'm just checking. She often calls. Sorry, mate. That was really embarrassing. Never use someone else as a butt of a joke. I'm going to scold myself all day. So in terms of lead generation, this comes from Neil Consultancy. And I quite like this one. When James and Aaron asked me to put this together many years ago, I thought, what is it? Lead generation is the process of attracting, increasing someone's interest, nurturing them. So that sometimes that process is quite quick. Sometimes that process is over time. Yeah, but that's my definition of lead generation, if you like. Why is lead generation too important to us? Why is it? Turn to the person next to you. 1 minute. Why is lead generation important? Away you go. You have 1 minute on that.
Awesome as normal, Keith.
You sure that's all right?
Yeah.
Bit nervous.
Oh,
Okay. Shall we move on? Why? Why are we talking about this? Why is lead generation important? Why? Tell me. You can, if you work with someone, you can say, we thought, or when chatting to this person, they thought. Why is lead generation important?
You can't progress without leads.
Yeah, you can't progress without leads. We need them. We need to have these leads. We need to attract and nurture these individuals because we can't progress. We can't move forward. We can't support people in achieving what they want to achieve as personal trainers unless we attract them, most definitely. Thank you very much, sir. Bless you. Sign value. Over the years, I've really thought about this. I'm in a club at the moment. There are a number of other trainers in there for a lot of the individuals who may be first interested in PT. We are the same. Yes, we just help them achieve their goals. We are same. So what makes me different? How do I stand out? The first part of lead generation is how do I stand out? And I came across this a few years ago by a French sociologist. I'm not going to pronounce his name. My English is moody enough. So I'm not going to pronounce his name. And he suggests that individuals are driven by sign value. Sign value is about social signalling. It's about, communicating a message to others, reinforcing your story. And he defines sign value and what a product, a service or an object says about an individual in a social context. Karl Marx also spoke about this. It was one of the examples that he gave when he spoke about the difference between capitalism and communism, if you like. Here's a pen. You know what pen this is. You've all used this pen. And this pen has a function. It puts ink on paper. It allows me to make notes. So I know what to do today to make my wife happy. This is also a pen. This pen has the same function as this pen. It puts ink on paper. It allows me to make notes so I know what to do today to make my wife happy. They both do the same job, which is how members might see us as a team of trainers on the gym floor. This pen, depends how you buy it, maybe you go 5 or 10 in Tesco's, or maybe you go biblical on Amazon. Get a box of 50. This pen costs you 30 pence. This pen is £500. Before we go any further, this pen belongs to my brother. He lives in a very different life to me. He's actually got 2 of them. He don't know that this one's missing. He's actually so sad, my brother, he's got a case for it. But why does my brother decide to spend £500 on a pen? I even thought, you know what, I'm going to buy the cartridge for it. The cartridge was 22 quid. I thought, no, I'll stick to me 30 pence one. Why does my brother buy this? I thought, why do people go for objects that say something about them in individual context? And for me, clients do this all the time. This is one of the ways. It's not the money, but it's the thought process that they go through. Sign value is about how the product, service or object reinforces someone's image. It's about how they tell their story. My brother doesn't buy that pen because it is a pen. My brother buys it because my brother feels that reinforces his story to other people. He is signalling socially, that this pen is who he is. It is telling his story. And in some ways, I think, that it is about signalling kudos, social status, prestige, improving, reinforcing someone's self-image. And if I'm in a club with 10 other trainers, not that I want to charge 500 quid or there's that much differentiation between what we offer, I do believe that sign value is an important factor in lead generation. Don't be same. Same is just safety. Same is just insecurity. Be different. Be unique. There are lots of other things that make a good trainer. Yeah, a lot of which I don't adhere to. Yeah, like looking good. But my wife likes soft. So I have priorities. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I do believe this is massively important. As personal trainers, not only must we attempt to deliver service excellence, and I do believe, and please forgive me for this, I do believe that it is service excellence that we strive for and not the experience. I cannot create an experience because experiences are defined by the client. It is their experience. All I can aim to deliver is a high level of service excellence because then the experience appears in their head. And I think as an industry, we have to be clear about that. People say, oh yeah, we plan for our experience. No, you don't. You plan for service excellence because the experience is the client's experience. So as trainers, we attempt to deliver service excellence, but we also need to demonstrate our sign value, our different. Was you taking a picture there? I'll stand out the way. I am on witness protection. Sign value, I do believe, is an influencer in lead generation. In terms of sign value, if you're into it, there are some factors that I've looked up that we need to be aware of. Who are you? Who's your audience? Who are you going after? Yeah? Who's the demographics in your club? And in those demographics, who are the groups, the demographics within those demographics? Who are you going after? And once you understand that, what's your niche? Don't try and go after everyone. Yeah? Don't be a small fish in a big pond. Be a big fish in a smaller pond. Who is your audience? What is your niche? What's your vision about yourself? What's your vision about your business? Yeah? What are your values? We have values because values influence our behaviours. Yeah? So once you know what your values are, then they can influence how you behave. That again differentiates you from other individuals. So what are your values? How do they influence your behaviours? And how do your behaviours influence your uniqueness? You're different. As the industry grows and develops, you know, I think it's going to be, I truly believe individually, and you might not, and, you know, I totally agree with, you know, having different thoughts. I totally believe that it's our uniqueness as trainers that will attract people towards us. Don't be same. Please don't be same. Same is just insecurity. It's safety. Be different. Obviously, there are boundaries that we have to make sure that things are safe and effective and appropriate to the individual. And we have boundaries when it comes to, you know, there must be some form of preparation, yes or no? Then there's the main workout, and then there's the cool down. Yeah, there are boundaries, but be different. Yeah, only 3 more outcomes and you never have to see me again, innit? Hey? And let's have a look at different approaches. And again, I'm not a marketeer, I'm not into social media, I know nothing about that. I am purely just a trainer who fortunately gets the opportunity to tutor every now and again. And here are some of my approaches to lead generation. This is what I do at the moment. I actually did one of these yesterday in club. I'm going to start there. So in club, once every 2 weeks, I do a little workshop. Little coffee morning, I call it. Yeah, and yesterday I talked in the club lounge and I did a session on building confidence on the gym floor. Yep. And you know what? They allow 6 people into the coffee morning. They can book it on the app. I could have booked it twice. I didn't believe that there were that many people who were members of my club who actually wanted to come at 11 o'clock for a coffee, yeah, and talk about building confidence on the gym floor. I could have done it twice over. Yeah, and 2 of them have emailed me this morning and said, do you know, can we follow up with that? You name some books, blah, 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 blah. It's really strange that you do a session like that and you think everyone who belongs to a gym is gym confident and they come along. It was planned for an hour, we did an hour and 20 minutes. They want this information. There's people out there like that, that's my audience. You know, don't go after the same people. Plan a coffee morning, plan a workshop, advertise it. If you're doing a workshop like that, I would make the numbers quite small, 6 to 8 maximum, so you can really get to know them. You can really sort of generate a little community there, a sense of belonging. You can answer their questions clearly. Yeah, so that's one approach. Is this useful? Am I just rabbiting on? Yeah? I'll go back to the top one now. This is my favourite one. Yeah, after I find out who I am and what I do, this is number 1, acknowledgement. I never hide away in the club. I've been at the new club for about 9 weeks now. I've never hidden away. Acknowledgement is a level of interaction. Yeah? Acknowledgement can be done as a statement or it can be done as an action. Acknowledgement is defined as interacting without inconveniencing or interrupting. With interaction, I am not engaging in conversation. I am acknowledging them. It is the first stage to interaction. People say to me, oh, Keith, you talk about interaction. They've got their headphones on. They don't want to talk to me. Well, at this level, I'm not asking you to talk to them. I'm asking you to acknowledge them. I can acknowledge 2 different things. I can acknowledge their attendance. So when I'm walking around the club lounge or walking the corridors, give them a wave, a nod, morning, afternoon, hello, open the door for them. I'm just acknowledging them. Acknowledgement is the first stage of building a relationship. Yeah, decreases anxiety, makes them feel comfortable. Yeah. Or I'm walking the gym floor. And on the gym floor, I might be acknowledging their attendance, but I'm also acknowledging their efforts. Yeah. Someone's just resting between sets on the bicep curl, give them a thumbs up. Someone's on the cross train, their headphones on, I'll just give them a little wave. Yeah, I find myself more often than not walking around the gym floor as people are resting, just not, I'm like Churchill, they're nodding, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah? Ooh. This stuff works. I'll tell you a story in a minute. I'm nearly finished. I'll tell you a story. Someone's resting between sets on the squat racks, my favourite one. Make eye contact with them. Oh. No, I'm only joking. I just want to lay this out there right now. The only people we don't acknowledge, I want to be clear about this. There are people on the gym floor who we don't acknowledge, and those are people on the Smith machine. Right? I was 4 years old when I gave up stabilisers. I was 4 years old when I gave up training wheels. It's kindergarten. All right, kindergarten. It's Mr. Minton and Pino at the door. Mr. Minton and And Pinot. Oh. So,
Sorry, I'm late.
no, don't apologise. Here's a story about acknowledgement. There is a gentleman at my gym. Oh, he is gorgeous. He looks as if he eats human beings for breakfast. When he stands up, the lights go out. I use him as an example, one, because it's a true story, and one, because me and him are opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of fitness, yes or no. You would not expect us to have a conversation. Anyway, last year, he was walking past me in the gym and I went, morning. And admittedly, he was a bit shocked, but he responded. I went, I've got you. Right? After that, I'm doing that all the time for the next month. He's giving it back. I kid you not. By the end of the year, he's in the club lounge. As I'm walking through, he calls me over, buys me a coffee, we're having a chat. Acknowledgement is about lead generation. He knew everyone in that club, and now he knows me. For me, a major factor in lead generation, it is not talking to them. Acknowledgement is interaction without inconveniencing or interrupting at this moment in time. And if they want to talk, they then ask the question. It's about them. I've made them feel comfortable. If you read the book, The Experience Economy by Joseph Pine, he's got a thing called Ing the Thing, Ing, I-N-G. And it's about every opportunity you have in influencing the experience, you create a feeling. So every time I acknowledge someone, I'm just pausing that eye contact just for a little extra second, trying to create that feeling. Oh, he's all right. Not too long, because I'll get arrested, isn't it? Eh? But just pause it. Every time I'm trying to ing the thing, creating a feeling from every single time I have opportunity to have contact with someone, creating those positive feelings that drive them back, that when they're ready to have the conversation, they can have the conversation. Another thing I do, deliver classes, small group PT, 4, 5, 6 people on the gym floor. I think it's a great way of generating leads for me, who knows nothing about social media. I can demonstrate my skills on the gym floor, how I teach, how I interact, the exercises I choose. Yeah, it's a great way of promoting myself on the gym floor, and I have picked up clients from that. If you don't like teaching classes, and I understand that a lot of you got in the industry because you wanted to be one-to-one trainers, then attend classes in terms of lead generation, attend them. And then at the end of them, introduce yourself. Yeah? So there's lots of different ways to do it. A workshop and a seminar. So a seminar is what I did yesterday, actually. I got quite excited, went over here to a workshop. A seminar is what I did yesterday, a coffee morning, a talk. A workshop might be something I do on the gym floor. Like if there was a new bit of a kit that arrived on the gym floor. I think I went to Bisham Abbey a few months ago to do something for someone. They had a belt squat on the gym floor and no one was touching it. And this PT, she was putting a little workshop on the gym floor together, 15, 20 minutes, you could book onto it, and she would go through all the teaching techniques of the belt squat. She was running a little workshop on the gym floor, which was lovely. Again, demonstrating her skills, demonstrating her caring, demonstrating what she offered. So a workshop and a seminar, one takes place on the gym floor, one might take place somewhere else, but I did a seminar yesterday and not a workshop. Sorry, I got really nervous there. It's because Mr. Minton wasn't in the room at the time. He's my calming thing. Maybe do some gym challenges. These are all the things that you can do, or that I've certainly done in terms of generating leads. Is this useful, or am I just rabbiting on? Yeah? With the person next to you. Oh no, some considerations. Sorry, I've jumped ahead of myself. Some considerations in terms of lead generation. Who is your audience? What do they want and need? When will they be in club? Look at my seminar yesterday. My audience is individuals over 45 who have had bad experiences in the past with exercise, and my niche is building their confidence. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. Yeah? If you want me to do pad work on the gym floor, no. If you want me to do S&C with a hockey club, no. Yeah? I clearly know what I do. Over 45s, bad experiences in the past, and they want to increase their confidence. So I know who my audience is. I know what they want. I know when they're going to be in club. Yeah. How do I communicate with them? Well, I'm very fortunate in the club where I work. There's an app, and a lot of people read the app. There are boomerang boards that advertise what's going on in advance, so they can book on the app, and I attract them through the app, and they turn up. But I'm sure there are things that happen in your club that if you are going to, teach classes, do a workshop, do a seminar, do a challenge, do a Q&A session somewhere, that actually, you know who your audience is. It would be pointless me putting on the how to build gym confidence on a Monday and Tuesday night in the club between 5 and 7:30, because they ain't in there. Yeah? The only other time of the week that I've thought about putting that workshop on is a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, because they're in there then as well. They go to the club when there's less people in the club, because it makes them feel more comfortable. So again, think about, if you're going to do something, there are going to be factors that you need to think about in terms of when you deliver this. What's going to make it individual for you? How is it going to be successful for you in terms of generating leads? So, here's a possible solution. Who's your audience? Females over 45 returning to exercise. What do they want? Building confidence and competency on the gym floor. When will they be in club? Evenings, weekends, late afternoon. How do you initially communicate with them? Well, acknowledgement, small talk, posters around the club, information, emails, send them out that. And how can you attract them? You know, by building gym confidence workshop on the gym floor with the person next to you. Pick one of those activities. We've got two outcomes left, and you never have to see me again. 2 outcomes left. Pick one of those activities and think about the factors that if you did that activity in the facility where you work, what are the factors that you've got to consider if you were to do that as a task in your club to lead generate? You have 2 minutes, away you go. You all right? It's been ages, mate. I do apologise. Sorry. What? Yeah, pick one of those activities.
Yeah.
And if you were to do one of those activities, what are the factors that affect you delivering that on the gym floor? What are the things you need to consider to deliver one of those activities on the gym floor to be successful for you? So it might be time of day. It might be, what am I going to do? It might be, when are they in club? It might be all of those things. Because you're not working in the same club as me, and you're not me. So there's going to be, they're just ideas. You need to make those ideas now your own. And we make them our own by thinking about the factors that affect that for us. Does that make sense? What?
Imagine taking that into a gym. You're going to get 30 clients.
There's only one person in our industry who could bring a dog to an event.
Yeah. And he's done it.
He's done it.
He's literally here.
Okay. Team. Whenever we, as personal trainers, the title of personal training is personal. So when we are training someone, there are always going to be factors that affect that individual that need to be considered for the workout. Age, fitness level, skill level, likes, goals, frequency, duration, previous history, confidence level, fitness level, competency level. The importance of that goal for them at that moment in time. There are factors that affect the individual in front of us. And we take on board those factors and then plan the appropriate pathway of exercise. With this task, it's exactly the same. These activities over the last 32 years have worked for me. Yeah? I've paid a mortgage and supported a wife with a very expensive shoe habit. But they're only ideas. You have to make them yours. And to make them yours, you have to consider your current situation, where you work, you know, the contract that you work under, the audience, the demographics of the gym and the different audiences within that demographics. Maybe none of these work for you, but there are going to be factors that affect these for you, and you using these tools, if you wish to be effective for you. And exploring the factors are key in terms of PT success for the client, but these factors are also important in terms of these having a successful outcome for you as well. Yeah, does anyone feel brave enough to make this session better by contributing? Anyone pick one of these out and thought of some factors that is individual to them in terms of how they make these successful for them?
A good example here, Keith, of movement screening.
Oh, lovely. Oh, yeah, I think a lot of people are into that. And dare I say, in the club where I work, do you mind if I add to that? Is it possible to jump on your, yeah? In the club where I work, we've just had something installed that does movement screening digitally. And the interest that has generated in the club, people actually want to know more now. So I'm taking that one. Is that okay? Because actually, I've been asked 3 times in like the last month, like I enjoyed that. One, I want to know more about that. One, especially the older clients. Yeah, the older clients. And you've just given me an idea there, mate. So thank you very much for that. I think that's excellent because the tool that they use in the gym now is digital, but they want to know more. It's boosted their confidence. They've got something to talk about. And now I want to know more about that. So I think that's a nice one. Yeah? But again, it's going to work with different people, isn't it? It's not going to work in every single club, but that's a lovely one. Any others? Any other factors that anyone thought about?
Lining up Q&A desks with like quarterly open weekends and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's lovely. Definitely. Do you mind if I add to that? Would that be, are you sure? I've tried Q&A desks with another PT and it doesn't work because some people are a little bit embarrassed to come up to 2 trainers rather than 1 to ask a question. So maybe, in my experience, do it on your own and do shifts, but pick the most busy time for you. Yeah? So when I've done that, 2 people, they're a little bit nervous. It's like we're ganging up on you. Yeah? T-shirts, big muscles, shave within an inch of our lives. Yeah, 30 seconds away from taking an antihistamine. Yeah, obviously that's not me, right? Was that too far? Well, okay. Yeah, but I think that's a great idea. I think there's a lot of people in club with questions, and if you can position the desk in a place that's visible, but when someone sits down, they also feel safe. Not right, no. It's like pin-loaded equipment, isn't it? Pin-loaded equipment. You know, it's designed to make people feel safe, isn't it? Yeah, the stack is specifically designed at a certain height that when someone sits down, they feel a bit protected, don't they? And they can adjust everything from the seat. So think about the pin-loaded example of where you're going to place your desk. You want it to be seen, but when they sit down, they want them to feel safe. Does that make sense? Bad example, really, but thank you. Anyone else?
Christmas get-togethers, creating a community.
Oh, lovely. Definitely. I think that's really important. Another thing, can I expand on that in terms of creating a community? Another thing, I've just started a newsletter. So everyone that trains with me, I send them out a newsletter. It only has three things in it. You know, a little bit on nutrition, which someone else writes for me. Otherwise, it will just be about the pick and mix. Which is why they don't allow me to deliver nutrition on the level 3 now. But I've got some logic behind it. A little bit on nutrition, a little bit on latest research, a little bit about the equipment in the gym. Little newsletter, doesn't take a couple of minutes to put together now, does it? With Canva, even I can do that. Creating that community, Christmas, coffee mornings, just a general coffee morning. Just drop in. These things are important. Last thing, I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to write a little action plan. And then I'm going to end the session. Is that okay? Yeah? So if you want to write down a little action plan, I'll give you a minute, and then I've got a little book list to show you, and then I'll just end the session. And then you can enjoy Ollie. And as you can say, I have been the fluffer. Okay. I am going to leave you. My aims of this session was to explore some approaches to lead generation. I wanted to look at sign value, social signalling, that it really is about the member and the member buying into you. And I hate to say this, but sometimes, the members do buy us because they have a particular goal with which they wish to achieve. Would you agree? Sometimes members buy us because they've got no mates. And I'm happy with that. And sometimes people buy us because they use us as a label. And sometimes it's a combination of all three. And sign value is part of that. Sign value is they buy into you because you reinforce what they feel about themselves. And there's some nice stuff on it. And it's different to luxury. And I am into thinking about that as well. There's a guy on LinkedIn who runs the Luxury Academy. Paul Russell, his name is. He delivers some lovely stuff. If you're into thinking about taking the PT you deliver up to another level, he's worth following on LinkedIn. Some approaches to lead generation, just general acknowledgement around the club. Thinking about, every person you meet, creating a feeling that's going to drive them back to you, create a conversation, maybe teaching classes, attending some classes, maybe doing some workshops or some seminars. Look at the factors that we need to consider. Nothing I say is unique. Someone else has already said it and owned it. And these are the books that have influenced this session. I'm rereading this one at the moment. It's lovely. Drive by Daniel Pink. In terms of what motivates people to do things. Really interesting. And a lot of it will come into how we deliver a session. Our delivery, where we stand, how we say things, the words that we use, where we position ourselves. Do we use more visuals or verbals? How do we communicate that? This one's probably the best book about PT that's not written about PT. Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. And he talks about getting into flow state. And when you are in flow state, hours seem like minutes. The worries of the day fall away from you and your sense of self becomes stronger. Who wouldn't want to be able to provide that for a client? What client wouldn't pay for that in this day and age? And it's a fine balance between complexity and intensity and how we get that fine balance. And actually, these two books are very similar related in terms of what motivates individuals to do things. And if you're into reading, both of those have stuff online. So if you don't like reading, you can get a glimpse of what they offer online before you purchase the book. Last little thing. When I look at the level 2 and level 3 criteria, and I still believe in that, I still believe the syllabus is good, and I would argue in the trenches that it's not good. I still believe that the syllabus is good if it is delivered appropriately. But the syllabus is all about instructing. Most of the syllabus is about instructing. At some point, clients don't need instructing, they need coaching. And coaching and instructing are very different in my head. And this looks at probably how you might progress your business or progress your offering, that once someone has moved from the instruction stage, where it's all about health and safety and building confidence and competence, maybe if you think about it in terms of the stages of change, someone moving from action to maintenance and then where they go from there in terms of the stages of change model. But this one looks at coaching, and I do believe that when we're delivering on the gym floor, there is more we can offer rather than just what is delivered at level 2 and 3, which I think is important. Is that okay? I've probably been recorded. James is going to put that on social media, and I'm never going to work again. So just a couple of books. Check them on YouTube. If there's something that you're into, then maybe buy the book, or maybe don't at all, and maybe forget that you've ever met me. That's fine as well. Is that okay? Enjoy the rest of the day. There's some great speakers in here today. One of my heroes truly is delivering next. Someone who truly has influenced how I do things is delivering next. And it is actually an honour. And I've laughed and joked about doing it, but it's actually an honour to be able to go before him today. So enjoy your rest of the day and enjoy the industry. Thank you very much.